Hello, everybody, and welcome to our webinar today on Cambium and WatchGuard together. My name is Alex, I'm the head of technical, and I have my colleague with me, Steve Kent, who's the sales and marketing director. So I'll let Steve say a quick hello.
Yeah, thanks very much, Alex. So thank you, everyone, for taking the time out of your day to join us for this webinar. Most of the people that will be attending this webinar are probably buying Cambium networks products from us at the moment, and we think it's a great opportunity for you to understand the WatchGuard offering, and we hope that over the next half an hour or so with this presentation, as well as some demonstrations from Alex, we can encourage you and inspire you to get behind and understand WatchGuard a bit more. So if you've got any questions throughout the webinar, feel free to ask as we go, and we'll answer them hopefully throughout the session, but we'll also get to them at the end of the session as well. So yeah, so we'll get going. Alex, you okay to change the slide? Perfect, cool. So I'll just run through the agenda, and as I said, thank you so much to the existing customers that are joining us. Without you over the past few years, we wouldn't have been able to achieve what we have. So we really appreciate existing customers returning to understand a little bit more about what we're offering, as well as some new faces I can see on the webinar as well. So it's really encouraging to see some of our new customers that maybe are just starting to work with us to understand us a bit more. So we welcome you to this webinar. How it's going to be broken down. So I'm going to talk about the Purdicom overview, and in that I'll talk about some of the other technologies that we supply to some of the various verticals that we supply to, and hopefully that might give you an idea as to how we can help you and some of the value add that we offer. We'll talk to you about an introduction to WatchGuard and who they are and where they sit in the product portfolio with both us and as them as a manufacturer. Alex will then start doing some demos of the product to hopefully demonstrate how simple and easy it is for you as a customer to position it to your customers. I'll go through the positioning of WatchGuard and help you position it to your customers and go through some of the tools and the value add that Purdicom and both WatchGuard can help. WatchGuard have also got some great promotions, and they've got a great partner platform, and we'll talk to you about some of their quarter promotions that are in place to help increase your business. And then we've got the Q&A at the end. Like I said, any questions throughout, feel free to add it to the chat, and we'll help you throughout the chat or answer them at the end. Okay. So for those of you that are existing customers, you'll well know us as a wireless networking and security distributor. We're based in a rural location in Oxfordshire in a small little village called Wantage, and on site we've got a training facility as well as all of our account managers usually on site, but obviously with the last 12 months we're all working remotely at the moment. Why we're a little bit different, we are really a value added distributor, and the ethos that I try and impart into our sales team is that if we help you as a reseller and as a partner win, then we win. If we work together, we'll help you win more opportunities, and together with our portfolio of Wi-Fi, point-to-point, point-to-multi-point solutions, we've got cabling, we've got UPSs now added to the portfolio, we've got a range of onboarding solutions, we've got a range of switching and security products. We really feel like we can really help you expand your offering to your customer whenever you've got an opportunity, and we'll work with you to try and deliver that. You may know us as a large ruckus distributor, but we're also one of Cambium's largest distributors in EMEA. We're WatchGuard's newest distributor, but it's our fastest growing product set that we've had launch at Purdicom for a long time, and it really complements our offering with our wireless and network products. Certa, a UPS manufacturer, so great value for money UPS, which competes with APC and Eaton. Ciclo offer point-to-point and point-to-multipoint solutions. Ascom are a telephony vendor, both in the IP and Wi-Fi decked arena, so we can help with hospitality and mobility solutions there. CommScope is a fiber and infrastructure cabling product. So if you're selling wireless, normally we're doing wireless and alternative, we can potentially look to support your fiber solutions. And Incapta and Nomadics are an onboarding or management gateway platform to onboard users in an easy management way. All of these customers, or sorry, all of these vendors, we sell to a variety of different verticals, and they'll vary from healthcare to education, retail, seeing a lot more business in MDU. Obviously, hospitality had a bit of a tough year last year, but that's starting to come back. And most of these manufacturers really do complement each other when you're looking at trying to offer a solution to your customer. Okay. So why WatchGuard, Purdicom, Cambium? So WatchGuard themselves, they've got a great portfolio. They've got award-winning products. They've got an award-winning partner platform, and we'll show you a little bit about that in a second. But the reason why they've got award-winning products, they really focus on the firewall security element, and they have third-party solutions that they have that incorporate and add on to their product, which are free of charge. They manufacture the product themselves, but they have these third-party add-ons that really kind of do go a little bit further than competitors' products. It's complementary to your existing business. So if you're not doing firewalls at the moment, if you're not doing wire whips, if you're not doing endpoint security in their range, then chances are your customers are probably buying something. They're buying something similar. So we would love to help you understand the product a little bit more, understand the solution, understand the offering, and help you position WatchGuard to your customers that you're already selling some of the other products that we probably supply you with. We would love to help you there. How we can help with the value add. So Purdicom have some great support teams. So Alex heads up our pre and post sales support team, and together they help design and understand the scenario a little bit more. We can help design that in conjunction with you as the partner. We can build bill of materials. We can help with technical demos. We can provide you demo kits. We can really help you win opportunities with the value add that we can offer in terms of that WatchGuard piece. Professional services work, so we can do elements of installation and pre-configuration work. So we can do that in advance of product leaving our warehouse. So if we understand the solution a bit, we can make sure that when it arrives on site, it is almost a plug and play scenario. So you don't have to spend hours and hours configuring the product when you're out on site. So WatchGuard and who they are. So for 20 years, WatchGuard have pioneered cutting-edge security technology and delivered its easy to deploy and easy to manage solutions. With our industry leading network and endpoint security, secure Wi-Fi, multi-factor authentication, and network intelligent products and services, WatchGuard enables more than 80,000 sites, small and mid-sized enterprises from around the globe to protect their most important assets, including over 10 million endpoints. So they're not a small manufacturer. They are well known in the channel, and your customers will have heard of them, which is a really big selling point. In a world where cybersecurity landscape is constantly evolving and new threats emerge each day, WatchGuard makes enterprise-grade cybersecurity technology accessible for every company. They've got multiple headquarters across the world, multiple offices across the world, but headquartered in Seattle. So they have 24/7 support, which is another great feature for you to feel comfortable when you are offering this to your customers. The WatchGuard One partner program, I've not seen anything quite as great as good as what it is, and it's been nominated as the partner program within the CRN Awards for the 8th year running, which not many of the other manufacturers have a single single platform that can kind of do that. So it's a great platform to be a part of. In terms of the partner program, it really does incentivize and increase your potential and your margin when you're offering it. And it's really helpful and insightful when you kind of do see it, and we'll show you elements of that. One of the other reasons why we love WatchGuard when they came to us a few years ago was they were 100% channel focused 100% of the time. Every deal, every order that they win goes through the channel. It goes through a reseller. So you can be confident that you're not going to get undercut or lose business direct. The team at WatchGuard are there to help us and you win opportunities, and they are solely channel focused, which I think is a great model to have. There's so many manufacturers at the moment out there that are trying to have a bit of a hybrid model, but WatchGuard are one that's 100% channel focused. And the final bits on who WatchGuard are, they've also recently acquired Panda, who are an antivirus endpoint security product, which, same again, Alex will go into a bit more detail in a little bit, but it's a great acquisition for them to have now a firewall, endpoint security, authentication, control. So they've got a few different products in their portfolio that enable and enhance their security offering. It really is a rounded product, and something that I hope that you guys will see the benefits of. So what we're going to try now is we're going to try a quick poll before we move on to Alex's slides. So what I'd love to know from our attendees is, have you experienced, or have your customers experienced, a security threat that you've been unable to solve? So yes or no answer. Would love to know, because hopefully that will lead us on nicely to the next slides that Alex will present. You got your answers in, Alex? Have you got the?
Yep, so just waiting on one more person, so I'll give them a few more seconds, and then I will end the poll and we'll go on to the next slide. Right, ending polling. Always wanted to say that. Right, so as we move on, what is the current threat landscape and opportunities? So we're all very aware that every day there's a different hack. You know, Twitter got attacked. Ethical hackers exposed 350 million exposed email records. Even some of other vendors have been attacked, such as Ubiquity most recently, where unfortunately they had a breach in their data center which exposed millions of other people's information and usernames and passwords. Microsoft most recently, their Exchange servers on premise were all compromised as well. You know, there was a conflict where the German politicians had all of their personal details leaked. So what we have here is hosted by WatchGuard. It's something called secplicity.org, where you can actually see all the events that are happening that WatchGuard devices have stopped. In Q4 of 2020, we had more than 1.6 million malware attacks blocked. That's 13 every minute. We then, in Q1 of this year, we had more than 1.7 million malware attacks blocked, which was 14 attacks every minute. Now, when I actually did this earlier in the year, I ran it on Christmas Day because I was quite sad and I was curious. On Christmas Day, our own firewall at Purdicom received 30 hacking attempts. It had 40 malware attempts. So even on Christmas Day, when everyone's supposedly supposed to have a Christmas dinner, we were still being compromised, or potentially someone was trying to compromise our network, even though we're just Purdicom sitting in the background. So it just gives you an idea of what the WatchGuard devices can report on and let you know what's happening at those certain times. So now we can have a quick product overview and demos. I'm going to go through the DNSWatchGO platform, firewalls, and we're going to touch on Panda as well. So what is WatchGuard's solution portfolio? Well, of course, they've got firewalls. They've got baby firewalls, which can sit on your desk, known as the tabletop series. You've then got the rack-mounted units, which can support up to 10 gigabit of Ethernet connectivity with SFP. So that's 10 gig of fiber connectivity into them as well. And they'll scale everywhere up from 5 users all the way up to 3,000 users. And better yet, if you really need to, you can have them virtualized in your own server estate as well. So you could have it in your Azure cloud, for example, protecting your Azure infrastructure. They then have a range of wireless access points. So whilst these access points, you may say, well, hang on, you're pitching Cambium here. These access points are designed solely to pick out rogue devices. So that's people trying to mimic your Wi-Fi, trying to capture other people's data, posing as your Wi-Fi. So what you can do with the WatchGuard access points is set them to basically monitor mode. And if they see any rogue event or any rogue device, it'll actually stop that device from transmitting, ensuring that your devices are only connecting to your trusted access points on your trusted network to prevent a man-in-the-middle attack. WatchGuard then have MFA, so multi-factor authentication, known as AuthPoint. So this is a great platform whereby you can have two-factor authentication, whether that be on a mobile device, on a laptop, on a website. It means that you can use your identity via your phone to make sure that only you are accessing the relevant information that you need to access. And if for whatever reason your password does get compromised, well, they don't have your mobile phone, so they can't actually authenticate anyway. So it's a very clever way, and unlike other security solutions, it integrates with most common platforms, meaning it's not just with WatchGuard it authenticates with Office 365, Zendesk, Salesforce, NetSuite, to name a few, LastPass as well. So it really is a one solution that fits all opportunities. And then we have DNSWatchGO. You may say, well, actually, I've got a customer, they've unfortunately just bought a firewall, but it doesn't do content filtering or web filtering. Not a problem. You can use DNSWatchGO to actually forward all DNS traffic to the solution. It will then provide you URL filtering, ensuring that your end users are protected. It can also be installed on a Windows device, meaning that even when your customers or your sales force go out on the road, and maybe they go to a coffee shop or a hotel, you can make sure they're only accessing websites which you deem as safe. And if they do go to a malicious website by pure accident, it'll actually bring up an alert page and say, this appears to be a phishing website. Would you like to educate yourself on what to look out for in the future? So as well as stopping the attack, it's also educating your users, which is the most important thing, to make them realize what to look out for in the future and why not to go there again if they would come across it again. Then we come on to the solution portfolio. So we've got Panda. So Panda is obviously a recent acquisition that Steve has mentioned. It was acquired in March 2020, and it's not just an antivirus system. So everyone has an antivirus system. What Panda allows you to do is patch management. You can ensure your entire Windows estate is actually on the appropriate patch level. Oh, and by the way, we can also do Mac OS as well. We can actually do network monitoring with Panda solution as well. So we can, a bit like PRTG or other network monitors, we can make sure that your network is healthy, make sure that a server hasn't gone down. And if it has gone down, please alert me and tell me what process or what server has actually failed and why. So it's not just an antivirus system. It can even go so far to delve into the user's laptop or device that's using it and say, well, actually, they were on Facebook for 30 minutes. They did this much data on Netflix. They sent this much data over OneDrive. It really delves into the detail of what is that machine actually doing and how can we make sure it's only doing what we want it to do, and make sure it's not going to malicious websites, make sure it's not trying to access USB content that it shouldn't be accessing from a flash drive. We have full control over that device. So it's not just an antivirus platform. AD360 is a state-of-the-art cyber protection system designed to get around the protection provided by traditional solutions. These attacks are becoming more frequent and then more sophisticated as hackers become more professionalized. It is also a result of lack of focus on correcting security vulnerability in systems that Panda AD360 aims to stop. Whether it's computers, laptops, servers, delivered from the cloud, it automates the prevention, detection, and containment and response to any threat, whether that be zero-day attacks. So a zero-day attack is something that maybe hasn't actually been registered as a virus yet, but it's trying to do something malicious to that machine, like suddenly encrypting all the files. Panda would actually be able to stop that process from running and prevent any file loss. The benefits are, it's simple, it's all hosted in the cloud. It automates and reduces detection time, and it also reduces the response time and investigation time. It also protects you quicker. It's stopping the attack happening before it can even get started. As mentioned, it can do patch management. And again, other benefits are you can discover, plan, install and monitor, audit, prioritize updates depending on operating systems and applications, prevent incidents, and if you really need to, it'll contain a machine. So if a machine gets past the point of no return, where it's starting to do too many bad things, it'll actually just isolate that machine off the network and just stop all network resources going to it, stopping it from affecting the rest of the network. I actually had this happen to myself. I was testing the solution and I deliberately downloaded a virus. My machine was instantaneously isolated off the network, and I then had to rebuild my machine. So that was my own fault for trying to test it. But it does isolate you very, very quickly and stops anything from getting transposed. And then we're going to come on to a quick firewall demonstration. So let me just bring up my other screen for a moment. Now, as well as showing you the actual firewall itself, I'm going to show you WatchGuard Cloud. So WatchGuard Cloud is something that you get with any WatchGuard firewall when you buy the total security feature set, which is the one that we recommend you purchase. So what WatchGuard Cloud will do is allow you to monitor all your firewalls remotely from the cloud. So here you can see this one is actually our production firewall. This is just monitoring today's traffic. So you can see here we've got a master slave scenario with high availability. The current slave unit, or known as master in this case, is shown as not connected because it's in an active passive state. But we can see today alone, we've had 11 blocked attempts. We've had 300 authenticated users. We've had 36 of those being VPN users and 276 of those being people on the firewall itself, whether that's accessing virtual servers, etc. We can see how many websites were blocked today, as well as how many IPS events we've had, which is just bad packets effectively. Luckily today, we haven't actually had any bad malware, which is a nice positive. But we can also then see what are our most active policies and how much traffic we've submitted. Now, that sounds great, but what else can it do? So we've got logs. We can obviously look at all the logs to our heart's content, see what was denied, see who it was denied by, see where they were going to, and, have a bit more information. We can search the logs as well. We've also then got our dashboards. So our dashboards are quite intuitive. I'm just going to change this to be only looking at today's just to speed things up. So we can see our top countries we've gone to. We can see our top clients. We can see the top domains, top URL categories, destinations, applications, as well as looking at our security dashboard. So what have we actually blocked? So we can see we've blocked some destinations. We've blocked Dropbox because we don't allow Dropbox on corporate network. We can see that file sharing as a result of blocking Dropbox is the most common application. We can also see which clients were blocked the most. We can then also go to our subscription dashboard and actually see granular about what is going on our firewall over the course of today. And this will actually go back 30 days. It can go back further. There is an additional license if you want to go more than 30 days. But to be honest, 30 days is generally enough. As well as having your threat map. So denied packets, blocked botnet sites, which essentially all come from America at this point in time. We've then got web traffic. Where are we actually sending most of our web traffic to? Which countries? So most of it's actually staying within EMEA, although we do have a few going over to the US, quite a few going over to this country over here, which I am quite bad, so I'm not too sure. Melbourne, Australia. And then we've got some going over to Japan as well as actually looking at policy match and working out what's going where. If you really want to, we can even look at per client reports. So if I type in my name and actually look for that, hopefully I've been a very good boy. I have, perfect. So we can see what I've downloaded today. We can see the websites I've gone to, see how much I've downloaded. If we really want to, and you're using the right engine, so you've got the URL filtering in place, you can actually view the websites that people have gone to and categorize it. So for example, you can say, well, my IT team, what have they actually been doing? And you can download a report that shows you everything about that, including looking at the access portal. So the access portal, for those that don't know, is a very intuitive way. And I'll show this very quickly now. It's a nice way to access any machine on the network that you've defined that may be needed for remote access. So instead of having to have a VPN connection the whole time, you can see here we've got our heat map machines and we've got our flashing machine, which we use to flash access points. So we can actually go to any one of these now, log in and access this remotely without having to have a VPN connection to the site. It is effectively an SSL VPN in a browser. So that is WatchGuard Cloud on its own. If I then go to the firewall itself and I log in, hopefully I've got the right password. I do. What we can then see is we can see all of our different policies. We can see our subscription services, what they're doing, similar to WatchGuard Cloud, but we can also monitor applications and what people are doing. So for example, I can go, well, what's Alex doing today? So you can see right now, I am on a Zoom meeting and I'm going through the allow Zoom policy, but you can very easily see what other people are doing. You can then monitor all your firewall policies. We do have a lot of policies, just how I've designed it, but you have a different policy for everything that suits your needs. You can even then start looking at what's been blocked today, blocked sites, if there's any here, any blocked ports, they'll appear here. So this is what we've blocked automatically today. It really is a simple, easy to use firewall with a very nice web GUI. Better yet, if you are working from home or you need to quickly deploy a site, well, there is another tool you can use. So you may actually say, do you know what, Purdicom? I'm going to buy the firewall. It's great. However, I need to make sure it's configured before I go to site. Well, either we can pre-configure that for you, or using something called WatchGuard System Manager, you can pre-configure the firewall configuration, meaning that when you do go to site with the firewall, plug the firewall in, you upload that configuration directly to the firewall, even though it's been sat in a box, being delivered directly to site. It means that you can actually pre-configure, pre-stage, get the files ready to go, even though you don't physically have it in your possession, to speed up your deployment time. That is the main thing about it. So now we're going to go on to DNSWatchGo. So I mentioned that DNSWatchGo is a really clever platform in how it does things. So what DNSWatchGo effectively allows you to do is configure a firewall application policy, even though you're not using a WatchGuard firewall. So what this means is you point your DNS objects towards WatchGuard, and then it's going to start capturing that information and start having filtering policies. So for example, when I go to configure and I'm going to look at our policy itself, if I was to create a new policy here, I'm going to give it a name and just call it guest and save that policy. What I can then do is I can go, well, what categories would I like to block? Well, I'd like to block adult material, business and economy, and drugs. And by the way, I'd also like to enable safe search for these websites to make sure that only the relevant people are going to the right places, and then I can assign it to a network. So I then save this policy. Oh, that's why I hit save first. And then just take that one, save categories. And then what you do is if you ever went to a website that was considered, you know, abortion or adult material, for example, you would then get presented with a block page. So you can customize the block page and you can preview it as well. So it's going to go website blocked. Looks like you've gone to a bad website that was a phishing attempt. Please let me explain why this is and why this is bad. And you can go to the course and it's going to load the data and it's going to walk you through why that was a bad website. So it's educating your users at the same time. Now, again, this will work with any firewall, any technology that's using DNS, we can bolt this onto. So say you've gone and bought a Draytech router and you would like to add some content filtering to it, great. We can bolt that on with DNSWatchGo. So this is great from working from home, especially. It's great for users that are on the go as well. So it's back over to Steve on how to position WatchGuard.
Thanks, Alex. Thanks, thanks for running through that. And obviously, as some of our customers get used to it, if anybody's got any questions when they've got their first opportunity or are ever uncertain, then this is exactly why our technical team are around to try and support you with any questions that you might have with any of your opportunities. So yeah, feel free to obviously reach out whenever you've got those opportunities. But yeah, I'm going to go through yeah, how to position WatchGuard and some of their unique tools that they've got to make it really easy for you to sell. So yeah, so we'll get on to that. So their go-to-market support. So I mentioned very earlier that we believe that WatchGuard is a complementary product to our Ruckus and our Cambium business. What we're not trying to do is we're not trying to take any of our existing Cambium business and replace it with WatchGuard Wireless. We're saying that WatchGuard can enhance your business by adding WatchGuard to your quotes and to your opportunities to your customers. And if you're ever unsure about how to position it or ever unsure about the opportunities, then like I said, feel free to come to us and we'll help where we can to try and help you position it to your customer to increase your revenue and your profit on that business. And it will increase your deal size quite dramatically because it's about the same sort of revenue as it would be if you were doing a wireless sale. So really complementary when it comes to that. We hope we've demonstrated in those demos that it's really intelligent and really smart security, but quite simply done. It gives you very granular reports. You can dive straight into where you need to see it very quickly, and you can set really granular policies depending on what you're trying to do, which enables you to simplify solutions for all of your customers. It makes it really easy to be able to offer something that you feel comfortable in supporting, and knowing that Purdicom are here behind you to help support it if you've ever got any challenges or any questions. One of the great things that I really love about WatchGuard again is their status match offer, and what they have here. If you're already buying firewalls and you're already familiar with firewalls and you're buying alternative manufacturers, but would love to start adding WatchGuard to your portfolio as an option or an alternative, then what WatchGuard will do is they'll status match you. So if, for instance, you are already a level 2 partner at another manufacturer, then you'll become a silver partner straight away for a period of time that's agreed by both Purdicom, WatchGuard, and the partner. But you'll be status matched straight away. So you'll start receiving all of the extra discounts, all of the special pricing, and straight away, which is a great way for you to get an introduction into WatchGuard. One of the other things that WatchGuard have is they have great campaign kits. So on their partner portal, that we encourage you to go to shortly, I'll give you the URL shortly. They have some great campaign kits that really help you develop a go-to-market strategy to your customers. We've got a great marketing team here as well that also can help design bespoke campaigns should you require it. But WatchGuard have quite a lot of content that's probably ready to go for you to offer to your customers. And they include things like case studies, mailers, banners, etc., microsites, whatever you might need to help enhance your business. The other thing that they also have is they have the ability to do marketing development funds, or MDF, if you were. So what they can do here is if you've got an event or you've got a campaign that you need some funding for, then WatchGuard are really open to help try and fund that activity to try and increase your business. So same again, if you ever need that support, come to us, come to your account manager at Purdicom. If you're ever unsure, there'll be an email address at the end of the presentation to email, and then we can circulate that to your account manager, and they'll be able to help you with pointing you towards the right direction to help you get marketing development funds. And the final thing is their promotions. They offer promotions that are there to help you get the right price at the first time of asking. So very little do we need to go and ask WatchGuard for extra discount or extra pricing to make it more competitive, because their promotions enable us from the start. They really do help us win more opportunities. They really understand what it takes to win against our competition or against a particular price sensitive opportunity from the start, which really does speed up the whole quoting process to you as a partner, and the whole sales cycle, which is fantastic from my point of view. So the tools and the value add that we can offer. So what makes them great? The first thing that they have is something called their WatchGuard sizing tool. Now, same again, it's a very simple way that you can quickly identify which is the right box for your particular opportunity. As you can see on the left-hand side, all of those are empty boxes. You just type in your number of users. So in this case, we have 60 users. You could type in the throughput required if you had a minimum throughput. You could type in how many ports you needed, how many VPNs, etc., and it would give you a recommended solution and a better solution should you need to do that, should your customer have ambition to want to grow their business over a period of time. They also enable you to, at the bottom, select your form factor. So Alex mentioned that they can do tabletop, which is the T series, or M, which is the rack mount product. So in this instance, there's the M270, which is one of their best-selling firewalls, and you get a quick summary of some of the high-end specs that you might need to then present that. But really quick, easy tool for you to quickly see what box would be relevant for your particular opportunity. One of the other tools that they have is something called a dark web scanning tool. Now, all these tools that I'm mentioning are free of charge. WatchGuard don't charge for these. They're free URLs. You can go onto their website and quickly find them. But the great thing about the dark web scan tool is it enables your IT teams or even your customers' IT teams to see if there's been any security threats and if there's been any exposed credentials anywhere along the line. It enables you to create a report, so again, free of charge, that you can give to your customer to say, are you aware that this has happened? And it enables you to enhance that sale or bring that sale forward, because it's a real life opportunity where potentially your customer has been exposed to a breach. So same again, really unique tool that they have that can be there to assist with the sales cycle. And I mentioned it a few times, their partner portal. So it's called the WatchGuard One channel partner program. So for you to become a partner, really simple. Go to the URL that's mentioned here, and we'll share this slide deck with you over the next couple of days once we finish. But some of the main benefits of the partner program is, as I said, WatchGuard try and make it so that our partners are profitable. They try and make it so that they give us front-end discounts that are the right price to enable us to win. They'll give us some back-end rebates that we obviously will pass through with MDF, and they will do deal registration to help protect you. I mentioned about MDF and co-op funds, and they've got a SPiff program that enables you to get dollars back. They're an American company, so you get dollars back on a debit card or credit card scheme for selling certain boxes and certain products. So like I said, they try and make it as profitable as they can to you by becoming and signing up and embracing the WatchGuard One partner portal. I've already mentioned about them being 100% channel 100% of the time. So like I said, every deal that they do goes through a partner. Every deal they do goes through a distributor. We work with their sales team to really help our partners win more opportunities. And as I said, together we do win more than we tend to lose by being involved and helping you wherever you need to be. They've got a true value-based program that's structured around your investment. So they've got a learning platform that's in there that helps you understand the technology. They add content constantly into this platform. They're not like some other manufacturers where they don't continue to evolve. They add case studies. They really do invest a lot of time and a lot of content into here to help you as a partner win more opportunities. So again, if you're not signed up to it, it's free of charge to sign up. There's nothing stopping you, even if you don't sell any WatchGuard units, to get some of this content to help enhance your business. And they're not affected by the amount of business that you do. So it's not done on a revenue number depending on your status. It's done on how many certifications you have. So you don't have to hit a certain revenue threshold to become the biggest WatchGuard partner in terms of their status. You can do it by having 2 or 4 people accredited, and that's a sales accreditation and a technical accreditation. You will get the same level of discount as if you are their largest partner. So it helps incentivize some of the smaller partners that are getting on board, understanding the technology, building up their business. You can win against some of these bigger partners from day one. But as I said, they don't tend to compete too much against each other because of the deal registration and some of those elements. But I guess the point that I'm trying to make is that it doesn't matter how big or how small you are as a partner, they work with you. Okay. Some of the promotions that they have in place already. So for this quarter, we have a just wait for the slides to catch up for a second. There we go. Cool. So some of the promotions that we have in place. So this is a exclusive to Purdicom. So Purdicom have created this ourselves, and the aim is to try and make it really easy for you to become a partner, for you to get your hands on some of their product at a really good price so that you can test it. You can have a live environment, you can replicate certain scenarios, and you can understand the product. Now, to become a WatchGuard partner, you do have to have NFR kit, and you do have to have completed their free of charge accreditations. So we're just enhancing that by giving you a discount up front to get your hands on kit a lot sooner and a lot quicker. But what we'll do in our bundle that we've created is we will give you the NFR kit at a reduced rate. So we've got certain models that apply in there. So you've got the T15, the T70, and the M270, which, as I mentioned earlier, is one of their best-selling products. We will also help with virtual training. So Alex and the team will deliver you as a partner some virtual training to try and help you understand it. We'd love to do training in our offices, but obviously at the moment we're unable to do that. So at some point we'll go back to our traditional classroom environment, because we love having our customers on site in our offices, understanding our technology and meeting our various people that you work with. And the final bit is we'll also do a 1 day of virtual configuration free of charge. We will help you with your very first install because we're conscious that we want it to be a success for you. We want you to have a really great experience with WatchGuard, because if you have that, you're more likely to keep coming back for more and more opportunities. And we'll hopefully help troubleshoot something that you might not maybe be aware of that might happen. So that's in place. We'd love to obviously help you with that. We'd love to get you on board as a partner, and that's one of the elements that you need to do there. Alex spoke to you about a passport product. So there's a promotion in place that's called the NFR Passport Bundle that's running for this quarter again. It's been extended, I believe, because it was on last quarter. But effectively, you can get an NFR Passport Bundle for a cent or 1p in our currency. But I think it has to just go through their books as some sort of transaction. It can't be free of charge. So that's how that works. But effectively, it's part of your accreditation again, but you'll get your hands on a product again, understand it, work with it, but they're giving it almost to you for free to help you understand it and work with it moving forward. So there's no reason why none of you on this call shouldn't take advantage of that. It's a great opportunity. So again, speak to your account managers about that. One of the other product promotions that they've got in place is a new promotion that's just come out. They quite often do something called the Red for Red promotion, but this one's titled Get the Box for Free. Now, what they're saying in this is it's not a free of charge product, but effectively, rather than you buying a renewal, they are doing it for the same price. So you're offsetting your price of the box. So you can, if you are working on any of these opportunities, then your customer, if you're trading in an old WatchGuard unit, then effectively the price for a renewal will be the price of the same box. So you'll get the new hardware in place. If you had an old M200, for instance, or your customer had an old M200 and they were looking to renew, then we would be able to replace it for the same price as an M270, just to give you an idea. That's running for this quarter again and in place for when you purchase a 3-year total security box. Okay. They offer, so this has been going for quite a while. So they do government, education, and profit discounts. So same again, as long as you identify the end user and you make us aware of the end user, and it's on certain boxes, then we can apply certain discounts to enable you to sell at a reduced price to government, education, not-for-profit opportunities. No deal registration is required, so you just need to let us know the end user, and we can help you there. The final one that's just been added in place is something called the security pays SPiff. So what this is, this enables you to be rewarded for every single box that you buy. I'm just going to call up another slide just to give you a scenario of what you could potentially earn if you did this. So same again, as part of the WatchGuard One family, you have to be part of that to take advantage of any of these offers. But as long as you're part of that, you'd get a security pays debit card account, and WatchGuard would put that money onto your account every quarter, I believe it is. So you'd start building dollars throughout the time that you're selling product, and that's on top of you making your gross profit as well as annual revenue up front when you're selling it. So just to give you an example, I've spoken about the N270 a few times on this, but a trade up box, you'd get $40 for every unit you sell into your account every time you sold one, and that's for any partner size, as long as you're part of the partner portal, and that's running for the whole of this year. Okay. And the last couple of slides that we have talking about Purdicom value add. So we talked a lot about how we can help with WatchGuard and how we can help there, but let's talk about some of the other value add that we can help that hopefully will enhance your WatchGuard and some of your other business that some of you may be aware of or not. So we offer training. So I've covered some of the free of charge training that we can do in terms of you becoming an NFR, buying the NFR bundle. But we can help with other technologies. So if you're ever unsure about any of the technology that we supply, we can help train your technical team, your sales team to go out and position it better. We've got a great technical support team, and Alex will talk in a second on the next slide about some of the pre and post sales support that we can do same again, we can be as much or as little involved in each opportunity as you need us to be. Our logistics side, we hold obviously a lot of stock in place. We can pre-order this stock for you in advance to help with project deadlines. We can package it in certain ways. We can palletize it. We can offer time deliveries. There's a whole lot of things that we can do around logistics. Just let your account manager know if you've got a quirky opportunity or something slightly different. Please always ask the question, and we'll see what we can do to accommodate that to make it really easy for you and your customers when it comes to that. Our finance team, same again, we offer really great credit limits to support our customers. So we've got standard credit limits in place for quite a lot of our customers. But if you ever get the scenario that your customer is asking for some extended terms or slightly different terms, then same again, come to us. We can always review that. I'm not saying that we can do it every single time, but give us a problem to go and solve. We can ask the question with our finance team and our insurance to see if we can offer extended terms on bespoke deals and help you out to win that opportunity. We can obviously increase limits, we can review terms and try and support you to win those opportunities. I'd like to think that you've got some great account managers that really do work and try and understand your business. The sales team, they're not quite like your traditional distribution team. They really try and understand technically some of the products, and they really want to help you win more opportunities because that benefits both you and obviously benefits our business as well. The more that we can be involved in more opportunities earlier on, the more that our sales team and our technical team can really help your opportunities and your business grow. And finally, our marketing team. So our marketing team has some great content that they produce. They produce webinars like these. They There's a marketing development portal that's coming shortly, which same again will be free for you to log in and rebrand certain content such as mailers or case studies that we've developed. We're always looking for more and more case studies. So if you've got a particular opportunity that you're really happy with that went really successfully, we would love to help you write about it. We would love to understand more about that project. We would love to shout from the hills and repeat that process again to help you go out and find another opportunity, much like the same one that you've just won. They're there to help you. Same again, go to your account managers, get them involved, and the marketing team will be there to help support you. And the final slide before we start doing questions is around our Purdicom professional services, which Alex will talk to you about.
Hello there, thank you, Steve. So we do offer a range of professional services for all of our products that we sell. So we can do everything from site planning, whether that's looking at a point-to-point solution or a free heat map survey, where we'll actually take a desktop plan and predictively place where the access points need to go, allowing you to then provide a quote to your customer and get a quote from Purdicom as well. We also offer pre-staging, so to save your engineering resource and mean you can process more work or more jobs. We actually can pre-stage all the equipment before it even gets to your site. So we'll go to our warehouse, we'll get the kit, we'll configure it exactly how you want it to be configured, and we'll ship it directly to you, meaning you just have to slot it into the rack. We also offer line of sight surveys. So again, if you're looking for a point-to-point solution and you're really not sure if it's going to work, we'll come to site, we'll do a proper report, we'll take photographs, we'll make sure that you've actually got a clear line of sight that the solution is going to work. We'll then recommend what equipment to use and tell you the estimated throughput of what that equipment should be able to do to meet your needs and requirements. We can also do access point labeling. So again, if you've got a big site and then you need to get all the access points labeled, we can actually label all of those access points for you. So again, when you go to site, they're already labeled, they're already pre-staged, just pop them online, clip them into the roof or the wall, and they'll work straight away. We can of course do on-site commissioning. So although it is COVID at the moment, we do have full PPE. So we can go to site in a safe working manner and configure equipment on site or troubleshoot any equipment on site as well. As well as if you're unsure about where to place an access point, we can do a pre-installation site survey. So we'll actually go to site, we'll use one of our access points or the required vendor, whether it's Cambium or Ruckus. We'll then walk around the building and measure all the signal strength. And that is a guarantee that if we say to place an access point here, as long as it's placed there, it will cover the area that we say it will cover. And you get a report at the end with all of our results, all of our findings, all the estimated throughputs, coverage, and a recommendation of which access points to use. Then to go one step further, you've installed the solution, we can go and do a post-installation site survey, whereby we'll do, again, a walk around of your building, we'll take all the signal measurements and we'll say, okay, in order to get the optimum performance, we'd recommend you tweak this setting. If you allow us to, we'll actually tweak the setting for you there and then. So you can see an instantaneous improvement to make sure that your site is working as it's intended to the best of the equipment's abilities. We've also got accredited training. So myself and my other colleagues, we're all accredited trainers in the products that we sell. So if you like any training, we can provide that for you. And of course, we have not for sale resale kits as well. So you can try the equipment out at a lower price than normal, get used to it, get familiar, play with the equipment and learn that equipment before you actually go and play with it in the wild or use it in the wild. So lastly, our last couple of slides are, we want to hear from you. What challenges, okay, we want to hear from you. What are your challenges and how can we support you? And do you have any questions?
So there's an email address on the slide there. So as we mentioned throughout the presentation, if you're unsure who your account manager is or have any opportunities, then please email watchguard@purdy.com, and we can then pass your inquiry to the relevant person that would be able to get back to you on that. Have you had any questions come in through?
So I can see that we do have some questions in the chat. So one of the questions is, can Purdicom pre-configure any of the equipment for us? Of course we can. We can pre-configure any equipment that you would like, All that we ask is that we have a call with you beforehand to actually understand what your requirements are, to make sure that we install it correctly, ready for when you take it to site. And if you do need any final adjustments when the equipment is on site, just give us a call and we'll happily help. Another question that I can see is, what other products work well with a WatchGuard solution? The honest answer is any product can work with WatchGuard. It is a firewall, it's a UTM device, it is designed to sit at the perimeter of your network, so it will actually work with any of your devices that you put behind it for filtering, routing management, anything like that. It will work 100% with any TCP/IP equipment on your network. Okay, and we have another question here, which is, what are the next steps to become a WatchGuard partner? Now that sounds a bit salesy, so I'm going to pass it straight over to Steve.
Yeah, perfect. Cheers, Alex. So yeah, the step to become a WatchGuard partner. So you log onto their website. It's WatchGuard. Just grab the URL. It was on one of the previous slides. But you log onto their website. You register as a partner, and if you're already buying an alternative manufacturer, then just notify us and we can escalate your partner status pretty quickly for a short period of time. I think they do it for 3 months, might even be 6 months. But you'll get a grace period to buy your NFR as well as take the certifications. And then when you've done that, then you're fully certified, and we'll be able to then take advantage of all of the benefits that we've hopefully shown you with the promotions and the discounts, etc. Like I said, they do offer a grace period once you register, so you have got time to go through those certifications. If you've got an opportunity straight away, they're quite flexible to obviously try and help you win business initially, so you don't spend loads of time doing the exams and nothing comes from it really. So hopefully that's answered the question.
Perfect. So are there any more questions at all, guys? Okay, perfect. So just to say thank you everyone for attending today's webinar. And there will be follow-ups as well. You'll receive the full slide deck and video recording from our lovely marketing department after the event as well. Any questions, please do email watchguard@purdy.com.
Thank you for your time.